Hi, I'm Sean.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Patrick.
And welcome to Basically Morning News,
The live show and podcast that is neither in the morning nor entirely news.
This show, we wanted to take a moment to do a brief intro to who we are, why we got into this line of work, and what we hope to do with our time here. So first, I guess I'll kind of start here. I am an engineer by trade. I have found that I have somewhat of a gift for gab, and I've heard people tell me a few times I can do some interesting things with my voice, so I figured I should be involved with broadcasting of some sort, and so this started as kind of a side, not a side hobby. I mean, that's where we're at right now, but we're kind of working on things as we go. I usually ran a podcast before this, and now I got into doing some stereo stuff with the guys over at KWZL and found a couple of dudes that wanted to try and make a live show happen. So we are here doing that. When I am not working or writing this show, I am breathing. Last I checked.
Well, I mean, the cool thing is,
can we get
you're an engineer. That means you make like cool shit like roller coasters, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, it's cool, but it's not like I can go to someone and be like, yeah, the type of engineering I do. Yeah, you're going to be super into it.
So are you the engineer type that brings the toilet paper to the storage shed and bring it to, you
mean a sanitation engineer?
Yeah, that guy.
No, I'm not a sanitation engineer. I'm a design engineer. I communicate plans for construction of various types to people in the field.
Oh, that's amazing.
Beautiful. I need a new office. You see, it's getting a little old.
So is the person in it.
Yep. Speaking of which, off to our second guest here. Mr. Chris, why don't you tell the world at large a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, my name's Chris Pavlik. And for the last 20 years of my life, by trade, I've been in the transportation business, and I've transported people where they need to go, from work to school, from
across the
home
borders
to the mall, and the stories and whatever. But that was that. Then Uber came, and I said, well, I'm not going to keep my business open when I could do the same job for cheaper and less hassle, right? So I went and did that. Well, then the pandemic hit. I was scrolling Facebook and found this ad for this stereo app. I thought it was funny. It's like, cool, I'll check it out, whatever. My nieces and nephews have always said, you're funny. Your stuff that you do is funny. You should be doing a podcast or some radio show or something, right? Whatever. I never believed it. So then I met this guy, Patrick, here, and he's like, he come and did a lot. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Mm-hmm. I met him, and he come rushing into a live show as I was leaving it, and he knew I was new, so he knew I wouldn't know how to end the damn show, so he knew he'd get right in the door. He's like, I got to talk to you. I want you to come, blah, blah, blah. And, well, then I met Boston, and here I am. So,
made babies.
I guess we're going to send it straight to Texas and hear from you, sir. The start of this whole epidemic.
No. Sure. Well, my name is Patrick Thompson. I'm currently 32 years old at the time of recording. So
let the record show.
Let the record show the witness his self-identified age.
I'm 21.
Right. So we have a few things about me. I've been in a few different fields in life, everywhere from transportation to medical to factory, all that kind of stuff.
So you were the drug transporter?
I plead the fifth. So, I've done a lot of different things. And again, just like you guys, I saw an ad for stereo and I was like, what the hell is this thing? So I downloaded that. And
Michael Turner, look at those old farts.
I mean, he's not wrong.
But he's right there too.
He is. I downloaded stereo. I got on there, and I was told that I did a good impersonation of some people. And I changed my name to that person. I got verified as a content creator on the app, and started this whole KWZL thing off as a semi joke, and it turned real when the government got involved and sent me a cease and desist letter for using KWZL.
It always goes real when the government shows up.
Right?
It was a joke, guys. It was a joke.
Right. And see, he's getting crunk on some Mike's Hard Lemonade. What a man.
Men want to be him. Women want him.
Run from him. Oh, we were going two different ways there. But no, I did that and then found out I had a knack.
You two are the biggest assholes I know.
Gaping. We decided I got into some voice work, and I regularly do ad drops for people. Like one of mine just dropped today for an ad for SL Period Music, great rap artist out of New York. And he's hit me up multiple times because apparently they like that grisly 90s voice, like SL Period is kind of what I do for them, because that's what they requested. They were like, can you do like a 90s announcer voice from radio? I mean, like Wolfman Jack? Sure. So now the ad that came out today is kind of layered with it was a Ricky Valley album that dropped in the 70s. They gave me that as inspiration. They were like, we want it laid out like this, but not that Queen voice. I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. And I heard the ad, and I was happy with the way they layered it together. But yeah, you guys can hit me up on social and stuff. Patrick Please One, that's PLEEZ1. And hey, we'll talk, and also support this show via Patreon. You know, we love you guys. We're doing this for y'all, not even us. We're doing it because we felt like that's how all podcasts start, right, Boston? It's like three drunk white dudes are like, yeah, I think we're pretty funny. So
hey, say that to President Obama. He's got a podcast now.
And we want it, well,
with the boss.
Yeah, with Springsteen.
Yeah. Who fucking saw
so
that
you
coming
mean
out of left
so
field?
You mean Springsteen has a podcast and is having him as a guest on his
No, they actually, it's co-hosted, and it's kind of like it's like stories from their lives. I think I haven't tuned in yet. I don't really know.
How do you think that came about? Obama's just in there.
I'm sorry, folks. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy working for this show. But you guys stay right here. Don't change the channel.
It's like, Michelle, I think I'm going to call Bruce Springsteen and see if he wants to do a podcast. Obama out.
There seems to be like a tongue-in-cheek joke in there too, because one of the things they do is I think they called it like Renegades American Born or something like that, and I feel like it's like a just a real joke to anyone who's still kind of on
in the USA.
Well, you remember the whole birther thing, and people are like, he wasn't born in the United States. Well, this podcast apparently sets that score to the earth and buries the hatchet on it.
Right.
To the best that I would know.
Earth conflicts.
Just to let you guys know, you can reach Patrick for business-related inquiries at Patrick, PATRICK, PLEEZ1 at yahoo.com. And you can also find him the same thing, Patrick, PLEEZ1, over at Instagram. We're going to ask for your patience for just a moment while we hear a message from our sponsor, Mimi's Gifts.
Need a great gift or a beautiful new furnishing for a space in your home? Browse on over to mimisgifts.com. Here at Mimi's, we have beautiful decor for every room in your house. And remember to use promo code KWZL20 at checkout for 20% off of your entire purchase. That's right, 20%. Next time you need something exquisite, remember, mimisgifts.com. Bring something beautiful home today.
Oh, that voice sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it's like we just heard it.
I know.
If you guys needed a better thing to kind of show you a little bit of what he can do for you as a voiceover and ad man, take a look. You just saw it. So if you need anything like that for your business, reach out to him. That brings us to tonight's rundown. So in this week's rundown, I'm sorry, I wrote this line. I'm going to put on a pretty face and say the hell out of it.
Say it.
Ted Cruz's CPAC speech was the cringiest thing since the BME Pain Olympics. Do not Google that, America, or you will stay fucked.
Well, I mean, BME Pain Olympics is one of those like ancient internet things that feels like an Indiana Jones hike now. But Ted Cruz is relevant and cringy as fuck.
Yeah. Well, to put the icing on that shitberg, over the weekend at CPAC, he started his speech with, "Hey everybody, how you doing? Orlando's great. Not as great as Cancun, but it's great." It almost sounds like that's something you'd hear like Trevor Noah say to make fun of him for that, but he just did it himself. It's like he gets all of his comedy ideas from opposition research. It's great.
He's like, I'm gonna see what CNN's saying about me, and I'm gonna use that in my speech.
Hey man, if you want to keep warm because it's cold outside, just stay next to him because the whole world is just burning around him.
My world's on fire. How about yours?
That's the way I like it, and
Hey,
I
but
never get bored.
Never mind. I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
Okay. All right.
Fuck
Next.
it. No, I won't.
Okay.
Maybe there'll be the tides will be turning for Cruz. Texas is 100% open. Maybe he'll get reelected.
We will see about that subject.
I mean,
in
look,
a later segment.
Cancun, and what happens?
Yeah, maybe. Next on our rundown is Elizabeth Warren's 6 times over rewarmed wealth tax. For those of you that think, if you think, oh well, it's like income tax, but it's for the hyper wealthy. It's not quite that. So
damn, Elizabeth Warren hasn't gotten any prettier.
No,
she never was pretty.
She may have been. I haven't seen any pictures of her previous to,
I said, she never was
during my lifetime. But anyways, the concept of a wealth tax is, like income tax, you're taxed based on the income you made. So you know that you have that cash in hand, right? But someone who is who's subject to a wealth tax will be taxed on what all of their possessions are supposedly worth.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. We have some specters of noise.
Somebody breaking.
No. It's okay. I mean, do you need to get that? Do you need to make sure they ain't killing anything? They're probably just cuddling the hell out of my
How
wife.
does it feel to be
It was bring your dog to work day. I missed the fucking memo again. God damn it.
Every time, Patrick. Every time you miss the memo.
They don't let you bring certain breeds of dogs to work day. It's considered too much of a liability.
Well, I don't have.
I bring a snake,
anymore, so I don't have a.
I bring a snake.
A wealth tax is just to get back to where we were. A wealth tax is based on the amount of net worth that you have. So if you own $0 but 100 yachts, and you're going to face a 2% wealth tax, you're going to be expected to sell those 2 yachts to cover the wealth of those if it's over a certain amount, right? Because it's based on wealth, not liquid cash.
I don't think that.
And how far do you think that bill's going to get?
They've tried it like 6 times. I don't know exactly how many, but it's been a handful. It's like every year she pushes it again.
I don't think her supporters are going to take lightly to the fact that she is trying to get more money out of them on non-election time.
No. Look, you got to understand. This is for the ultra rich.
Yeah, the ones that support her.
Gates, Musk, Bezos.
Yeah, Bezos' tax liability, based on a calculation I did at $180 billion of net worth, is something like 5.34 or so billion per year in wealth tax.
He can afford it.
Yeah, he can afford it, but he won't. People are leaving their state and they're losing money to do it.
Yeah.
What happens if all of a sudden you gain $5 billion to leave the country? You're probably just going to do that.
Yeah.
At the price of $5 billion.
Look, don't get me wrong.
I would leave a place that I love.
I believe in taxing the rich so that it feels like they're contributing more to society through their tax dollars. But I think something like that is mildly outlandish. Because that means, hypothetically, if either of us ever make it, we could, potentially be taxed the hell out of, and it's justifiable.
Working hard.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I do agree.
This seems like fun to everybody out there in the audience, but to me, this is what I'm doing. This is my passion, using my voice and using my comedy to perpetuate where I'm going and steer the rudder of my own ship, if you will, to no offense to Boston or you, but I see this as another vehicle to do that. And that's why
what did you think we thought of it was just we were coming here to play with Tiddlywinks?
I thought you thought it was a butt plug, but we'll leave that in.
No, that's not,
Wrong plug.
Wrong plug.
This guy.
Wrong plug.
Why do I deal with you people anymore?
Because you love us.
The thing is like people say, well, I want people to pay what is fair.
Yeah, pay what's fair. And I don't.
But what's fair? How do you measure it?
But here's what's fair.
I think
take the tax cuts out of your. Okay, so when you go and do your taxes, you get all these expenses and deductions and whatever. You pay your taxes. So basically, you're telling me as a rich person, right? A super rich person. Whether I do or not, I'm going to say they're a normal, non-crooked person, but they have their money. They pay their taxes just like everybody else every year. No problem. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So now just because they have a net worth of $5 billion, it's okay that they pay that tax plus they got to pay income tax, or is that the difference? Do they not pay income?
It says on top.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you have people like Trump who granted special tax breaks to people with private jets and such. I didn't agree with that shit. I think maybe a flat 1% to 3% per year, if they make over $1 billion, unless they donate more than that amount per year, then they're not like Warren Buffett's a great example. Warren Buffett was one of the richest. He's still rich. Don't get me wrong, but he was one of the top 10 for years and years and years and years. But his charitable outreach is way more than most people compared to his income scale. Mm-hmm. And that guy is I wish he was my grandpa. He's just so wholesome. He's like one of those old guys you want to hug.
It reminds me. So it's like me and John Stossel. I like John Stossel because he reminds me of like your uncle that runs a roller rink and has a big old 70s mustache. But of course, he's getting older now, and he doesn't look the same as he did 10 years ago. But he's hanging in there as best he can. He actually moderated the libertarian debates, some of them last election cycle, and he was absolutely fire.
But there are ways to tax these people who have gained what we all wish, like they've gained the American dream. And that's what we're all fighting for.
But I don't want to be taxed on something that all my life I'm paying the taxes on anyway when I work and get paid. So you're telling me now, after I become rich and work my ass off, and I have a yacht, a summer home, a vacation condo that, mind you, I'm still paying my mortgages on. Okay. Now I have to pay more money because I own stuff. Don't I pay property taxes? Don't I pay income taxes just like everybody else?
But
So
here's
now,
the thing:
now
if you have that kind of wealth and those kinds of assets, it's literally a drop in the hat. You could make up for that taxing. Make up for that taxing with charitable donation.
And I get that. I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is here I am working just like everybody else to get to that point. Okay.
Right.
I get to that point, and now I still have to pay my taxes just like when I was making $50,000-$60,000 a year.
Yeah. Let me help clarify that argument perhaps a little bit.
You're gonna have to pay taxes regardless.
So you've got a $10 million home,
right?
And you're above the $50 million threshold, so you're going to pay 2% wealth tax on that. Okay, so you make $50 million. You have $50 million in assets on the dot, and then you have a $10 million home. That $10 million home, you are carrying a lease, or not a lease. You're carrying a mortgage on. So you have to pay that mortgage. You have to pay the property tax. You have to pay the income tax and the income used to pay the mortgage, and you have to pay the wealth tax with the money that you get, income tax and payroll tax if you paid yourself as a self-employed person, all the way down the line. So just to pay that wealth tax, you have to pay 3 other taxes first. Why not just
and that's ridiculous.
Remove all the loopholes and everything and just throw it flat 10-12% across the board. Just say fuck off.
Right. Well, that's where I was kind of going with it after my speech, but I guess you knew where I was going. So yeah.
Why do we need taxes for taxes for taxes for taxes?
That was
other than to justify the existence of a bloated IRS.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely agree with that, but what I'm saying is I see it. I don't agree with Elizabeth Warren's thing, but I think what the government should do is ask for that amount of money in donation to charities that could benefit.
It's not charity if it's not voluntary.
Well, and it's not charity anyway, because
do you think these people actually donate to things because it's charitable? No, they donate because it's a tax write-off.
Right.
Yeah, perhaps, but
it zeroes you out in taxes.
So
but the group of people to which Warren belongs uses words like unity and equity a lot. And
you mean like when they bombed Syria the other day?
Well, yeah, unity, equity, fairness, those words get used a lot. And then there's moments like this where I go, is this something equitable that we should unify behind? No, it's not.
Not at all.
No.
There's got to be a better way than this. It wouldn't be hard, I don't think.
It's called cut the political bullshit and do your job. Maybe try working more than 147 days a fucking year.
Is it only 147 days?
It's like 147 days that they work out of the year. Because we know that when they go to their home state, they're sitting on their ass, and their staffers that are in those offices are doing all the fucking work. The people that probably don't get paid shit, by the way.
Yeah, they're probably a lot of them. I think are volunteer based.
I'm sorry.
Is weird
can you tell I hate politics?
Oh yeah, I know. But this was supposed to be about taxation. But we can go ahead and move on move on the issue here a little bit. I think we've all said what we believe, and we've gotten through that. Hopefully you guys know a bit more about this than I do directly at this exact moment in time, but Emperor Cuomo is under fire for comments and behavior unbecoming of someone who's in political office at the top of a state or top of a city. I can't remember. I'm just upset by this. Apparently in the list of things that he's being kind of chided and or angrily reprimanded for are I believe he told someone, someone female near him at some sort of dinner, that he wanted them to eat the whole sausage. That's not something that sane people do. But have you guys heard anything else about this?
I have not.
I didn't hear anything as much as I'm pretty sure it's fake because I seen a picture and it looks like a New York Post.
Well,
front cover.
The New York Post is a very reputable source of news.
Yeah, come on,
Right.
man.
I live in New York, and that's just saying that Cuomo's a reputable governor. I mean, come on.
Well, we
Like-
might have to make like the White House press secretary and circle back on that one.
Yeah, because all I know is he in what that paper said says that he was trying to grope somebody. I guess apparently, I think Cuomo is a goat. I believe it said
He's a
or
goat.
a pig. He's a
Goat
pig.
is-
Cuomo's a
Okay,
pig.
pig.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
pig.
I was going to say goat means greatest of all time.
I think-
and
yeah.
I think that's the opposite of what this is about.
It's like, wait, he's up there with LeBron James now.
Michael
Put him-
Jordan.
Put him in the paint, and he's LeBron James or Michael Jordan.
No, not LeBron James. Michael Jordan is alone in the GOAT level.
That is a conversation for someone who knows more about sports than me. Notice we don't have a sports section.
We should.
We just did.
Yeah,
You literally just did it. So what do you mean? Can we get to the weather, please? It's fucking cold in New York. How's it there in Texas?
Fucking hot in the closet. Let's keep going.
Man, that sounds. Is that the name of the mixtape you're dropping this summer?
It's
Coming this summer, hot in the fucking closet.
I wrote this song on the inside of a
Oh
paper
my God.
bag.
in the
Okay,
closet.
Next on the docket, the head of Nike North American branch resigned after information came out about her son running a shoe reselling business. Say it with me now, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Conflict of interest.
Oh, is it a conflict of interest or is it more like insider trading?
You
Well,
took the
her
words
name
out of
was
my
on the
mouth.
credit card receipts, so.
Oof. My ex-wife's boss, her son, have you ever seen those very inappropriate mother-son relationships? He basically does the same thing, as far as reselling shoes. And she always complained about not having money. And that's why, because this little bastard would deplete her bank account, buy shoes to resell them. I love sneakerheads. I mean, I love sneakers, but this kid,
let's see. Next on the docket, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy was on trial and was convicted of corruption and bribery, and now is going to spend 3 years in jail.
What kind of jail? Like the Poly and
French jail.
So a lot of
Guillotines.
Tea and crumpets.
no. What I think you're confused on where France is.
Yeah, but I figured they weren't going to give him any of that good, French food while he was in there. But
I figured it'd be a lot of surrendering.
Well, I heard he surrendered to authorities, but that's about as much surrendering as I think happened there.
Well, I mean, it is the French, so.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Next on the docket, Nintendo is running a limited digital release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which is a remake of 3 of the past most popular 3D Mario games. That sale of that is digital only from now until the end of March.
Oh, that's
at which
awesome.
time that game is going back. All 3 of those games are going back in a vault. They're pulling a Disney.
It's like
people
it's in the
are
vault now,
livid.
but I want Peter Pan now.
Not today, bitch.
There's speculation that it's a $60 pack, so there's speculation that each game would be released on its own, remastered for $60 down the line. But you can get all 3 of them in a somewhat remastered state now.
That's a pretty great deal, though. I mean, as somebody who had a Switch, I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, but the fact that it's going back in
Nintendo I played was a Wii.
Yeah, but if you get it out of the vault, the only reason I owned a Nintendo Switch when I did was Tetris Attacks. So,
really?
Yeah,
I had a cell phone for that.
There's so many great games on the Switch, though. The Nintendo Switch has a lot of great
Tetris Attacks.
Oh my God.
I mean, Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild,
Tetris Attacks. Oh, and you can download that emulator that they offer for free if you're a subscriber, and you can get Pilot Wings. You're right. There are great games.
Yep. You can also get
And
Yoshi's
Zero
Island
Key.
and Super
Yoshi
Mario World.
Island fight.
and moving on.
It's great.
Oh, fuck. He's like, oh, you hit a topic I can't
Fuck
talk
Nintendo and it's shit. Moving on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Call of Duty. Is that what you wanted to talk
Yeah,
about
fuck
tonight?
that too. I'm
Okay.
on the radio now. Fuck that shit.
Oh,
Moving
he
on.
plays Minesweeper. That's his age.
I
Oh.
moved on to big boy toys, microphones, cameras, lights, and action.
Look at this
And you
beautiful
people.
studio I'm in. I own a studio.
I've been trying to find
closet.
time to play a game for the past week. We'll see if I get
How's
lucky.
it working out for you?
Not great. Thanks for
See.
asking,
Anything I can do to help?
Dick.
Hey, you got to remember, even through doing all this stuff, you got to set time aside for yourself.
I know. I've just
Wait a
didn't plan
minute.
things well
And
enough.
possibly the person you're married to. You're welcome, Boston's wife.
Oh,
My wife-
I hope she's
wife
listening
would
right
know.
now.
You guys
Uh,
keep them.
You called in all the favors for viewers, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. My last item for this week or
This
Rat
week.
God for today's rundown is Volvo is going to be going full electronic vehicle by 2030, but they're not putting a good start to it because their current release of full EV SUVs is currently stuck on cargo ships on the eastern seaboard because they need a software update before they can go out to dealers. And they're talking about like mid-April being able to take them off of the ships.
Damn.
That is the dumbest shit ever.
That's weeks of those things of those car carriers sitting in docks or out in the water. Even it is just terrible.
That's
but-
crazy.
That's what you get. Right. Let's take a brief moment to hear from this week's second sponsor, Aggressive Babysitters.
Tired of not having a nanny to go out on those fun nights? Don't have anyone left in your circle that willingly wants to deal with your hellspawn or crotch goblins? Then do we have the perfect service for you. AggressiveBabysitting.com. That's right, AggressiveBabysitting.com. What's that mean? I'm glad you asked. It means we send one of our expertly trained in childcare ex-inmates from San Quentin straight to your home. I know what you're thinking. That can't be cheap, can it? Wrong. We're running a 15% off special for the first 300 families that sign up today. Remember, when your hellions burned all of your other bridges, there's AggressiveBabysitting.com. Tired of not...
I feel like I really need to pick that domain name up.
Somebody like, hey man, I heard that ad. Like, are you really hiring though?
We
I'm
hire
really
all
looking.
ex-criminals, inmates, and felons.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's
Even
get
OJ
into
has a job with us.
the big boy topic for tonight. Tonight's deep dive.
I just
All right.
gotta say, I absolutely love how truth is in quotations.
Yeah. Do we have we don't have a commitment to truth here. We're an entertainment program. We're trying to inform, but realistically, we're falling short and settling for entertaining.
We're just taking the jokes out of it.
It's like, okay, here's all the truth. Remove the jokes. What's left? Throw away. And there we go.
Garbage, 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 laugh, garbage.
Junk mail, jury duty, eviction notice.
Jury duty. They got to have your address to give you that, though.
I'm off the grid.
All right. Well, tonight's deep dive subject is sure to get everyone here fired up and arguing with your friends at home, just like we're about to argue the shit out of ourselves here. Ladies and gentlemen, the subject of today's deep dive is Texas. Texas today, through their governor, Greg Abbott, has elected to completely restore all businesses to full open and to remove the state level mask mandate from the docket. And so people are out partying in the streets. What is your take on this, seeing as you're barely staying on your chair, Patrick?
Oh man. The moment I heard the news, I was blown away. I was like, "Oh shit, this guy's an idiot." So immediately I found the website to get in line for my vaccine. And I was like, I'm still wearing a mask. But by next Wednesday, that's March the 10th, for those keeping score. And hopefully, assumably, by the next Wednesday after that, the 17th, half of Texas is going to be in the hospital. And that's the thing. This guy, Greg Abbott, what a fucking piece of work this guy is. What the fuck?
Hey, Abbott.
He had this meeting was held in front of a restaurant this morning in Lubbock, where this guy was with a bunch of like no masked people. And I'm not talking about sitting at your table. I'm talking about out in the fucking, big crowd of people, and probably still had more than the Trump inauguration, but that's besides the point. The biggest thing is this guy's a fucking idiot. I mean, this pandemic of COVID-19 is not over. It's not going to be over for another year or so because now the virus is mutated and everything else. And they're like, hey, what should we do? And Abbott's like, duh, I think we should open all the businesses up next Wednesday. No mask mandates. 100%.
We gotta unpack something you said, though. You said this isn't going to be over for another year or so.
Yeah.
Right. You said because the virus has mutated. Right.
Yep.
It makes me.
We call those buzzwords, folks.
Well, I call them the things that I've been hearing thrown in my face a lot, right? Which is every time someone says, "Hey, look, progress," 30 people go mutations, not over for X amount of time, right? Mm-hmm. And so it becomes very hard to know what is misinformation and what isn't. Right. And even when the sources that are supposedly, the reputable sources that are supposed to be rock solid are not even as rock solid as they should be, right? So it leaves people with a lot of questions. So I got to ask you, what if clearly the government telling you it's safe is not a standard that's acceptable for you? And I applaud that, right? Because we shouldn't be making our decisions based off of what anybody who wears an American flag pin says that we should be doing. Mm-hmm. But I got to ask, where is that point? At what point does your mask come off?
I believe when we have less than 1% of cases ending up in the hospital is when I'll feel more comfortable.
I will never go without a mask again.
Japanese and Chinese culture have been masking up for years, and they have very low cold rates, very low pneumonia rates, and that kind of thing. And this year, usually I get a cold or something
I haven't
throughout
had
the year. Yet. Exactly. I think a lot of people are
but I think that went away.
Here in Texas, people want to be like, you're infringing on my rights. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're keeping people around you safe. And one of the lines outlined that he said in the speech this morning was, I believe Texans are smart enough now, and they know that they have the tools at their disposal to be able to stay safe. Like, fucking really? I go to places and I see people scratching their fucking ass, tugging their balls, and everything else, and touching everything on the shelf. It's like, no, I don't want this bag of Takis. Like,
nope.
No, but I want a bag of Takis. I'm not leaving there without one. So just got to find the one with the least amount of ball smudging.
All I can say to Texas is Godspeed.
Yeah, we'll find out real quick if they're right or not.
Please.
They're going to speed all right. Right in the fucking ER.
Do me a favor. Do not, I repeat, do not travel to New York. Our governor has not lifted any mandates. You cannot do anything in New York. Texas is open. So if you need to take a trip, Texas is open.
Oh, my.
On the 10th.
Don't send those people here.
I'm just
funny thing. Actually, believe it or not, remember when the clouds kind of parted, like maybe 2.5 months ago, where it looked like things were getting better for a little bit, and then it just went right back into the bad?
Oh, you mean when they went from stage 2 to stage what was it? Stage 2 to stage 4?
We don't even use stage numbers in this state. We use colors.
Okay, so whatever it was, red, orange, yellow, green.
2,
1 through
3,
4.
purple, yellow, orange, chartreuse.
Man.
Plaid.
no.
They've gone to plaid.
No, that's the lumberjack warning.
Oh. Hot lumberjacks in your area.
Hey, do you like beards, ladies? Are you into guys who smell like oak?
Onlyweasels.com.
Only lumberjacks. But like, you remember when the clouds parted maybe 2.5, 3 months ago? I don't know if you had them on your radio, but on mine, we had commercials on the radio telling us that it was okay to come to Korea. Like, Korea was open for travel.
Wow. The only commercials we got on there was stay safe. If you're sick, stay home. Wear a mask. Stay 6 feet away. Wash your hands for 20 seconds or more. And please, again, if you're sick, stay home.
Well, there was a guy, what's his name? He does a channel called like something dumpling, like Critical Dumpling or something like that. And he tries a lot of like convenience store foods in other countries. And he went to Korea. He said, you know what, I'm not going to be in the United States for a while. I don't like how things are being handled here. I'd rather go to a place where things are done differently. And so what he did is he got an agreement to travel to Korea and stayed for 14 days or something like that in a like a really low end hotel where he, watched Korean soap operas and exercised and ate the food they brought him and all that kind of stuff for however long they told him. I think it was 2 weeks. And now he's good to be out and about in Korea. And he's been that way for probably the better part of a month now. It's kind of an interesting concept is, if whoever told us that we have the rights we have hasn't seen how other countries have responded to this.
Right.
Because everything is they got to make it difficult. The easy stuff's got to be made difficult for no reason.
Right. Well, imagine this, right? Imagine the government is notified that you were exposed to somebody who had coronavirus. And so then the government comes to your house in hazmat suits and escorts you to a quarantine facility where you stay for 14 days and you do not get to say no.
Speaking of which, just like you mean like the app that they're trying to be forced to download, if you read the terms and conditions, it literally states that they will use your GPS location and every place that you have been with your device and used to see if you've been exposed. So, they can just round you up, folks, apparently.
Well, in some of these countries, people say, like in Korea, they have a more aggressive like quarantine policy that by our standards would absolutely be like a jail. Right. But it'd be a nicer jail, of course, because they're using like Motel 6 type things.
We couldn't stay home for 6 months without bitching.
Dude, the first 6 months of this thing, that was hard. Nowadays, I don't care.
The first 3 weeks were great. It was like, yes, no more 9 a.m.s I can sleep in.
Oh, my job at the time. Okay. My job at the time, they told us, no, you're still working like normal. You're just going through all these extra steps now and you're doing the same thing. So, but I think we're going to find out pretty darn quick if Texas got it right. So keep your eyes on the metrics.
They open back up on the 10th, folks. Open 24/7.
I'm trying to be optimistic, Patrick.
Look, as somebody who's been in the state for 7.5 years, I can tell you sometimes most of the people around here, when it comes to science and figuring out real educated things such as science, they don't know their fucking ass from a hole in the ground.
Well, talking about knowing your ass from a hole in the ground, we're going to take a brief moment to see if America in general has the ability to tell art from just crap thrown on a piece of whatever. We're going to take a look tonight at a special story for our segment, This is Art. All right. So Elon Musk's other half, Grimes, if you're familiar with the artiste, and I guess artist provocateur Grimes, sold more than 6 million in what are called non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, or as the shorthand would say, Nifties. Nifties are basically, they're like cryptocurrency in that they're assigned to the blockchain. They're unique in every possible way, but they also contain within them rights to a certain form of digital art. Essentially, there's some behaviors about it. If you take a look at our overlay here, there's a little bit of a description. But if you buy one of these Nifties, you get access to, I guess, a title of ownership of.
Believe it or not, I read
of that piece of art. Yeah,
and I would not spend. First of all, you're going to give me a digital piece of art. That's all I have. Well. Maybe not so much, because there's digital photo albums, so I'm sure you could transfer it to your photo album.
Well, you don't you don't have to, in that you have the token,
mm-hmm.
and that token gives you the ability to display that digital piece of art in places like digital worlds, like VR chat, or in your Oculus home or whatever else.
So basically, you bought the content license.
Yeah, you bought a license.
Kind of. It's a lot like a license, but we
gotta go with a coin.
The thing is if it's like for monetary gain purposes, you still may not be allowed to use it. It really depends.
Jim, did you hear about that new lady Grimes' new thing? You can buy a piece of art. That's my only way to buy a Banksy nowadays.
She's like a much more aggressive version of Bjork.
Oh man, I remember watching a fucking Bjork thing where she explained TVs. That was the most.
When you guys want to read that, I'm too far away to see it.
It says, "Hello, basic morning news. Loving the show and info." Well, thank you so much, Justina Martin.
Right on.
You so much.
Right on.
Thank
you for being here. If you want some more of us, make sure
you know how much I have to pay these people to sit and watch this garbage?
$0. So if you like what you're seeing today and you're having a good time, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, it's really easy right now. Do it. Click the like button on this video.
Nifties.
Right.
Well, I'm not
and then next to that hit the subscribe, and there should be a little bell right next to it. Set that to all. Click it and set it to all, so you can see when we're going live beyond just memorizing our schedule.
Know you through your phone.
Yes. Please sacrifice your phone speaker life in the tiniest possible way, that we might send you notifications letting you know when we are live next.
Will be a lot less intrusive than Amber Alerts. I'll tell you that. The thing's been going off all day here.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to get our show on the Amber Alerts.
Ooh, that'd be a great. I mean, if Donald Trump can have one for the presidential awareness stuff, I mean, we can get one, right?
But in fairness, he was the president when he made that alert. So he made the alert because it was an alert.
I don't need that asshole bothering my phone just because he thinks he can.
You remember when the guy in Hawaii who was like supposed to be the nuclear missile watchman on the Pacific seaboard accidentally hit the test button and scared the entire world?
It's like, what? I just leaned on it.
I just leaned.
It wasn't that big of a deal.
This is a bad man. I thought and he's like, son, I thought I could trust you with bring your son to work day. Well, I went out and got a beer, but I guess I couldn't. Damn it. Son, I am disappointed. All right. Well, let's go ahead and for those of you tuning in, remember, like I said, like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you are listening to us on Facebook, please make sure that you like and follow whatever all that good news over at BMN Pod, or basically Morning News on Facebook. And if you are tuning in right now on Twitch, I'm sorry, I don't know how that works yet, but I was told I could stream to it. So if it's working, outstanding.
Fabulous.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to tonight's fun segment called Who the Fuck Made This List? All right. So tonight's Who the Fuck Made This List is in regards to a classic toy that we might all know and love. Gotta pull up the producer. Is the link on the script? I must have missed it.
No link on the script.
Oh, right. We're doing it live, ladies and gentlemen.
Fine, we'll do it live.
Patrick, can you lead us through this one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can tell you this. You know, the Viewmaster was created in 1939, and these are some of the 12 best and worst Viewmaster reels never made. Again, that toy was created in 1939. Who those who don't know what a Viewmaster is, it's that handheld stereoscope you hold up to your eyes, and it's a cardboard disc with some
The little red one.
transparency. Is the red one. There you go.
Yeah, I had that.
You know, and I got to say, one of the first ones, they couldn't include the 1945 reel they found in the Rebel. You know, it was the Viewmaster disc that highlighted World War II, and a lot of Auschwitz pictures on that one. I don't think that would have been very cool for people to see. Yeah, you know.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, without the photographic evidence that it had, I mean, how else would you have used? How they wouldn't have had the appropriate evidence to charge people in the Nuremberg trials without the photos taken for that reel.
Yeah, that's right. The Viewmaster, you know, the Viewmaster company was very proud of themselves for having their photographer out there in the streets of Poland and Germany and Berlin and all that. And I think Prussia was still a thing up until the early 50s. You know, but you know, out there having all those great pictures taken of the damn Nazi regime and things. You know, kids needed to know what goose stepping was.
Well, now that part of history will never be forgotten. Just like my childhood favorite, Dr. Seuss's "View the Places You'll Go."
Yeah, that's fucking canceled.
Canceled like Amazon's last logo. We have an overlay for that. The headline from The Verge that we pulled this from reads, "Amazon shaves app icon mustache that raised eyebrows." Another headline from Gizmodo reads,
Das get package.
Das package. Gizmodo's headline reads, "Amazon rolls back icon that was a little too below the nose."
Oh my goodness.
Well, I wanted to take a moment between bouts of hysterical laughter to remind you that even though we had some real strong moments and points of discussion that were polarized here in this conversation, that I want to remind everyone listening that anytime that you use or that these kinds of situations create boundaries between you and your community, you're allowing people that want you to be separating yourselves and distancing yourselves from other people socially and as well as ideologically. They're gaining, and they're gaining at your expense. So don't let these wedge issues and these false dichotomies turn you away from your communities. I wanted to make that point beyond the laughter tonight.
And if I may interject, I must say that, you know, anybody who takes any joke seriously that's here or doesn't see the satire or the humor or when it's interjected, understand that we are all loving and understanding people here. And we
Whoa. Speak for
okay,
Don't ever insult me again.
I put
Don't ever insult me again.
Sorry, Chris. All right, my bad. But you know, we
Can't even be an asshole these
we're
days
here to
without
have
people
fun.
saying you love them.
We're here to have fun and explore scripting as well as improv type things. So, you know, you guys need to keep that close to your chest as well.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna. If does anybody have any other comments on reels about Auschwitz? No more comments about totalitarian regimes and atrocities being put into children's toys. Nothing.
No, nope.
All right. In that case,
Sure.
let's hear from our partners at KWZL Media Group.
Hey there. I see I caught your attention with some eye candy. I know. If it was my face, you'd keep scrolling on by. I just wanted to let everyone know that when you're on your favorite app, Stereo, that you can find some great content put out by KWZL and our merry band of DJs, Taco Truck California, Patrick Please One, Dr. Gonzo, Yeah I Am Silver, Iris Nightfall, Von Roy, Foggy 420, Core, and Heavy Mahez. All you have to do is download the Stereo app, tap the magnifying glass, and type KWZL. It's that simple to find great programming on Stereo. And remember to browse on over to 889kwzl.online.
That's my
God,
favorite
I
radio
feel
station.
just like Gary Cooper. I'm so famous on here.
That's my favorite radio station. It features all my favorite DJs, especially that Foggy guy.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
don't tell him though.
Oh, don't tell him. It's not like we have name tapes for that or anything.
No, we don't have that. No.
Nope, no
Got
name
him.
tapes.
We cut him. Anyway.
Action.
Oh man.
Nope. All right. Well, let's go ahead and I want to take a second to let you guys know, like I said before, and like I will say again until I'm blue, purple, and or chartreuse in the face. If you are watching on YouTube right now, like, subscribe, click the bell button, get notified. This show is nothing without the listeners. We love doing it. It's fun. We have a good time hanging out, but we need you guys to make this a reality.
Absolutely.
So if you guys could take a second to do all those things, and then if I might even be so bold as to ask further, if you want this stuff to continue and you're willing to get behind us and help pull the train, head on over to www.patreon.com/BMN pod. If you feel like helping us out financially, that is the best way to do it.
We're
And
cheaper than
now-
Netflix and better.
Cheaper and better than Netflix. Asterisk.
Oh, I had to mute myself on that one. I'll tell you why in a minute when we're off.
So head on over to patreon.com/BMN pod. And if you join in, at any level, we're going to be eternally grateful. But as a special thank you to people at the $5 level and above, we will be providing you with our writing sessions where we make jokes, try them out, fail wonderfully, and go down in a blaze of glory with stuff that never makes it to the show, lands on the cutting room floor, and basically starts self-combusting on the spot.
But you're gonna pay.
But that shit ain't free America.
Hell no.
But that's going to be there for you.
Oven too.
So if you want double the content, we're talking about 6 programs a week. Six
You
programs a week
double
will be
the
yours
fun, double
for
the
$5 a month. $5 a month gets you 6 programs a week. That's 24 programs roughly a month for $5.
That's amazing.
That's
I
a
need to
deal.
rework my contract.
That's like better than like a lot of TV sitcoms.
Yes, we are better than Seinfeld.
Whoa.
You know, just take my line. That's Costanza's line, man.
Hey, hey, George Costanza, blink if you're okay.
He's not blinking.
All right. Well, that's about it for tonight. If you guys check us out over at bmnpod.com, it'd be very appreciative. But until this would be on Thursday night at 7:30, we will be recording our next program, and it will be right here.
7:30 Pacific.
7:30 Pacific.
10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central for all you fine folks in other time zones.
Yeah. And if you're across the pond, then
Whenever it is,
3 years from now, it'll air, apparently. So, folks, if you can head over to bmnpod.com, take a look at the newsletter. That way you can be up to date with some even more ramblings and musings from the team, including some people who are not on this show. We have a couple of staff writers that are going to do stuff for us now and then. Head on over there, take a look.
Unpaid.
We're all unpaid, Patrick.
Oh, wait.
I didn't know this was a paid
BMN
gig.
Pods. That's what I'm going to do next week. We're going to fake check and be like, I got this check from BMN Pods.
You just ruined it. You just ruined it.
I'll do
right.
something better.
Until then, I'm Sean Boston.
And I'm Chris Pavlik.
And I'm Patrick Thompson.
Until
Stay
next time.
fucked, America.
Well, you guys.
God.
My goodness. My